Hi, Marcus.
Hello, Patrick.
What were your first contacts to games?
Uh, I would say the very first thing I can remember as a child was the Odyssey 2 by
Oh,
Magnavox. So that was my very first experience. I had that crazy keyboard that wasn't really a keyboard, and the games were black and red, if I remember correctly. And then I think my really first computer was a Commodore 64, and I
oh,
would play games like Ultima, and I would play games like Mission Impossible. And in fact, I have probably quite a few of the games right behind me. Let's see, I got over here. Probably one of the most popular ones, Sim City. So anyway, yeah. So I was on a Commodore 64 early on, and that was my earliest computer experience.
and what was your first contact to Sierra? When did you first heard of this company?
So when I went from Commodore 64 into the PC world, normal people would go into the Amiga, the Commodore Amiga, but for whatever reason, at the time, the Amiga wasn't really that popular around here, even though Commodore had a factory nearby. So people were using IBMs or IBM compatible. So I had a 386 computer, and I believe it was Space Quest 4 that really got me hooked into Sierra. And then I started playing some of the older games, the EGA, Space Quest 3, King's Quest, and Police Quest, and the Dynamics games. And pretty much they had a huge catalog. So I definitely played a bunch of games that I don't even remember from back in the day. So I've been playing games from the 80s and 90s till now.
What's the special thing on Sierra games for you?
Oh, they're fun. So really like Space Quest and Leisure Suit Larry, the comedy, the humor, the charming graphics, the fact that you can move the character all around the screen was like pretty revolutionary and really brought like it made you feel like you were in that world with all the music and the storytelling, and the deaths were kind of fun and hilarious. So yeah, I mean Sierra's classic.
You now work as a 3D artist, but what did you do first? Were you ever involved in computer games, in gaming and programming, or?
Not at all. Not at all. I had zero experience as a game developer. I did start 3D modeling back in 2000, early 2000, studying a program called Rhinoceros for making jewelry. So actually, my history is very intertwined with diamonds and precious metals and making some very fine jewelry for very famous companies. And I designed and won awards and manufactured for them. They were my clients. So I got to work with a lot of different designers and a lot of different types of styles of jewelry, which made my 3D modeling skills have to get better because of the complex designs, the processes, the problem solving, and then I have to make 3D renderings. I'm also classically trained jeweler. I sit on the bench and polish and assemble, but I utilize the 3D technology to make some of the most advanced jewelry designs. So basically what happened was I started collecting these games. Like I picked up this game in particular. So that was like a really miracle to find that around here. I actually drove 250 miles to pick it up, and I posted it on a group on Facebook, and like a pretty famous collector named Enrico messaged me. He's like, "Now you have something I would like. Don't tell nobody we trade." And I'm like, "All right, I guess I got something important." So I did a little research on it, and I found that it was like one of the first IBM games ever released on a PC. And so I contacted the Computer Museum in Wall Township, and I said, "Hey, I got this game. You guys always are showing off computers. Why don't we show the games that play on the computer, and I'll give a presentation for the festival." And the boss was like, "Hey, that's a good idea. We'll put you on right before Ken Williams, the guy that designed the game." And I'm like, "What?" "No, the guy that created the game, he's also presenting. We'll have you lead into him." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So I got all excited. And the thing was, I was talking about games I didn't really know. So I messaged Enrico. I'm like, "Enrico, I don't know anything about this game." He's like, "Well, why don't I introduce you to Ken?" I'm like, "Okay." And then all of a sudden I get this message, hi, my name is Ken. How are you? And I'm like, hi, I don't really know this game. I need some help. He's like, well, it just so happens I wrote a book on it. Why don't I send you a copy to review? And from that point on, I gave the presentation, stayed in touch with Ken, and one thing led to another. And I was kind of egging him on a little bit about making a game because after reading the book, I felt like the fairy tale's not over.
Ken, you were retired, but the fairy tale's not over. That's correct. At what time you thought it would be great to do a new project?
I don't know, these things you get sucked into one day at a time, just kind of, I'm a bit of a workaholic. And so one way or the other, I'm going to work on something. And the book had finished and I had a hole in my schedule. And then, I don't know, I kind of got curious. I think somebody wrote into me and started talking about Unity, this game development language, and I'd never heard of it. And then I said, I wonder if I could program in that. And then, I created something, and then I said, well, this could be fun. Maybe I'll try writing a little kids game or something just to kind of goof off. And then Marcus got involved, and then Roberta had an idea for a game, and all of a sudden here I am building a game again. So I wouldn't say that there's any brilliant strategy here. It's just something, I don't know, it's fun. It's kind of addictive. Once you start on something,
say magical,
keep going.
Feels magical.
Yeah, that it is. So
yeah, and now there is a new project. What can you tell about that? What is the idea behind the project, and what will it be?
Well, Marcus, you want to take that?
Well, we have a 3D, fully immersive adventure game with a Sierra flavor. And it's going to be in virtual reality game. We can confirm that right now, that it's going to be a virtual reality game, and it's going to be quite the experience. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to not only reach out to the classic Sierra fans, but Sierra has been always known to push technology. And right now, VR is where it's at with cutting edge technology. And I think we're going to take full advantage of that and have a really unbelievable immersive 3D adventure game. Because I don't think there's many out there. I'm not saying there's nothing that exists, but not at this scale and not with this kind of storytelling, that's for sure.
And what will the story be about?
Oh, we can't tell you that.
Okay, but it
should have a few weeks.
But it should have the spirit of the old Sierra games, or I read that.
It's top secret, so lips are sealed.
The game is called The Secret. Or is it a working title?
Well, no, that actually won't be the name, but the name is a secret today, so might as well call it The Secret.
Exactly.
But you'll see. Just give it a few weeks. A few weeks from now, ask us again.
What is the plan of publishing? How many years you will work on it?
We don't. There will come a time to worry about how we're going to publish the game. I've certainly published a lot of games in my life. That was a long time ago. There's a lot I have to spin up to speed on for how we do it today. But there's also, Marcus is lobbying for, and I'm sure we'll do a little bit of a throwback and do a boxed version that people can actually buy and take home and put on their shelf. I think, there's kind of a bit of nostalgia there, and I think it's what people want. It will certainly probably also make available a version that people can download. But I think it would be cool to have something to sit on your shelf. So.
Of course, it's important for retro collectors, for example, and for the fans of the old games. A boxed version is very important, yeah. Did you all write the story, or what were your tasks on the game? Who is working on what part?
I'm working on the art and the world building and some of the ideas involved in the game, how it plays and things like that. And Ken is really the visionary for the programming and how it's going to work and function. And Roberta is definitely the inspiration and his guidance on the art direction. And I feel like she's going to get way more involved in a very near future, is my honest opinion. That she will definitely be putting her stamp on it.
And
That's a very small team. Yeah, you would be surprised at what we've accomplished with just Marcus and I. I would have thought it impossible, but he's an awfully hard worker, and I'm a hard worker, and
we're smart.
and yeah, we just kind of
We're
kick
smart.
it in gear.
and-
Well, yeah, and we're not bogged down with a whole lot of bureaucracy and other people to deal with. We just kind of like know what we got to do and go do it.
I got to say, I was actually thinking about that. I like the fact that we're a small team, so things don't really get lost in translations. People's egos don't get so involved. Ideas really get shared and talked about, as opposed to that was my idea, or it gets buried with other people. It's really easy flowing, and the fact that you're such a great programmer, you make the things happen. Is why we're so far ahead. I don't think other teams probably way bigger than us wouldn't get done what we've gotten done at the time that we did it.
And the story is an idea from both of you, or from Ken, or from Roberta, who had the ideas?
It's Roberta's idea.
Well, that's the area we don't want to talk about. It was her idea, but you'll see. It'll all make sense very soon. And
speaking of which, Ken, I don't mean to bust your balls a little bit here, but we have some VR code that was due last week. How are we doing on that?
Yeah, I know. I'm not used to being under pressure.
We got a game to ship, right?
I got a game to ship. So, although we're pretty mellow about when it's going to come out. I think before the end of the year, but we'll see. That's the goal.
You produce for which platforms?
Oh, Mac, Windows, and
PS5.
hopefully on Oculus at the same time.
Yeah.
And and other platforms would love to have, but it's just not going to happen with the first release.
Now this is an idea that you were the first to hear about, and I'm actually asking Ken live on air for this. So one of the ideas is like the history of Sierra. They published for virtually whatever platform was available. So you had Commodore 64, Commodore Amiga, Apple II, IBM. You did it all. So I want to make a port version of this game for an Apple II in a Ziploc bag with a 5 1/4 inch copy.
Yeah.
I think a limited edition version, just because that would be a Sierra thing to do, is to make it for all the platforms.
We'll put in 50 floppies and put the first 2 seconds of the game.
We need a version for C64 too.
Yeah, that would be cool. No.
You're like, yeah, no.
I'm having no trouble rounding out a day, so I don't need more work.
Can you tell something about about the special of the art, or who's doing the new music? Some things you can talk about?
Not really.
No, that's soon. We just don't want to spoil the surprise. It won't be long. Give it a couple of. Well, don't give you an excuse to interview us again.
That's good. That's a good one.
Marcus gets to put shades back on and look cool.
And is there a site in the internet where our listeners or viewers can have a view about the current activity?
Actually, tell everybody, check out, I'm not very innovative at naming things. Check out kensgame.com. And, assuming I ever have free time, I'm going to post a blog there or something and talk about what we're doing. But just check out kensgame.com.
And
my
register
blog is kensblog.com. Pardon?
And
you're going to put it at the bottom of the screen, scrolling across like a little ticker?
Will there be more projects at the start of a new career, or is it only one experiment?
I don't know. Marcus
Yes.
is a young guy.
The answer
He's got
is
a whole
yes.
game development career ahead, and and I'm doing this. But what happened? In fact, Roberta even already today said, "You're not starting a company, are you?" And we're pretty happily retired. No. God. It's funny. I mean, some people go into these stuff saying, just imagine if someday we had this big company. I'm going the other way around saying, no, please, let's, I just want to do cool things that people enjoy playing. Beyond that, I'm not worried about it.
We're having a lot of fun doing this right now, and that's what matters, I think.
We talked about the rise of the old Sierra games. Will there ever be a chance to update old games were you asked to do something like that from other right holders?
Somebody owns all those rights to the old games, and there are some very cool games there. If somebody were to call me and say, "Do you want to do Phantasmagoria 3?" Then yeah, that might suck me in. So so hopefully this video will be watched by somebody that owns the rights. I have no idea who, if anybody, owns the rights these days. Yeah, they've kind of parsed out the rights to the old Sierra products to a few different companies. So,
But
and I'm not even sure.
if they ask you, you perhaps will say, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's some fun things. Or somebody came and said, "Hey, why don't you do King's Quest 9 or Phantasmagoria or Larry 4?" Or and there's actually even some smaller games that were pretty fun that would be cool to do. Jones in the Fast Lane.
Oh yeah.
Well, there were some.
Al skipped Larry 4 on purpose.
I know that's true. Al skipped it so we could have it. Yeah, or what was the other one I was just thinking about that'd be cool? There's a lot of Sierra had a pretty great catalog of product.
Do you play your own old games still today?
No, me never. I didn't even play them then. I'm like I said, I'm not really a gamer. The only games I played are I guess I played Red Baron. I like that. The old World War II aircraft, but. No, I like the technology and the coding, and I like making people smile. But as far as myself playing the games, nah, it's just I'm too impatient. I always have to do something now, and fighting for 40 hours through an adventure game is just not me. But I understand that people love it, and happy to help them do that.
And Marcus, what was your last Sierra game? The classic Sierra game you played?
We just played Space Quest 1 last week on a live stream. The original version 1.0x, where you type in Ken and he comes out and yells at us for not having the graphics ready. So we played that version. That was fun. It still looks, for me, it still looks beautiful and great because it just has all that feelings that it brings back to me.
The last question for me, do you own old hard and software, Ken?
No, we move around so much. We're not that attached to physical things. We're just because we travel quite a bit, and like we had a whole storage unit, a big storage unit, just filled with all the old Sierra paraphernalia and the old contents of my desk and cases of games, and we didn't know what to do with it, so we sent it all to a museum in New York, and we didn't even kind of look at it. We just shoveled it in and sent it off, and they cataloged it, and they've got it all. It's I forget the name of the museum, but what's it named? Oh, the Strong Museum in New York. And so yeah, I think Roberta's got 1 or 2 of her old games, and that's it. So
Patrick's probably at the mouth. He's like, "Why didn't you send it to our museum?"
I know. It's funny. I always kind of figured if I ever want our old games, they're floating around on eBay and I could always buy them. But now I can't afford them anymore. They're going crazy, buddy. It's weird. I mean, when Al Lowe's talking about finding the old box, I'm melting some games in and selling it for $50. It's
told you that was my friend that bought it.
I know, that's weird.
That's weird.
World. And what was he was saying, like $2,000 or something for a sleeve from the original soft porn?
Yeah, I saw it. We have a museum here in Hamburg, and we are looking for some old versions of games, and the prices are terrible at the moment. It's very
crazy,
very difficult to get special copies, and yeah.
Yeah, I always considered that eBay would be my archive, but it hasn't quite turned out that way. The different way Marcus is turning around, you can't see it because of the way his camera is, but he's got everything.
Yeah, I've been pulling stuff up.
Very fancy.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
it looks like it's probably the old Mission Asteroid or something. So anyway, but nope, we don't have any of the old stuff. Okay, well, thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
I have to thank you, and please tell us if we can talk more about the game, about the secret.
I promise you're going to like it.
I hope it. I hope.
I look forward to people hearing.
tell us if there are news about the game, of course. Thanks a lot, both of you, and I hope we hear again. And yeah, I wish you all of success for the project, and I hope a lot of people will give it a chance. I think it's very interesting, but we don't know what it will be exactly.
Soon.
Okay, thanks a
Okay,
lot.
well, thank you.
I have to thank you. It was a great honor to meet you and hope to see you again. Thanks.